Hi guys, and welcome to our second to last day of 30 Days Wild. Today we are going to be talking about a rodent, okay? Now when I say rodent you guys all think of rats, mice, voles, stuff like that. Today is extra extravagant. We are going to be talking about the beavers. Believe it or not, Eurasian beavers have been reintroduced back into the UK. Yay! Okay, so I'm really excited about this because it's great. It means that we can actually bring animals that have been extinct for so long back into our country so that they can thrive and survive again. So believe it or not, the beavers became extinct roughly 400 years ago in the UK, and it was because they were highly predated on for their meat, their fur, and also the liquid that comes out of their glands for perfume purposes. I don't want to smell like the back end of a beaver, and I don't think you do either. But yeah, this is basically what had happened to the beavers. They were hunted to the brink of extinction in the UK. So now I can safely say that there is at least 400 individual beavers located throughout Scotland, in a couple of places in Wales and in Devon. So today we have video footage from a good friend of mine, Sylvie, from Devon, and she has spent time recording the wild Eurasian beavers that have been reintroduced. She found them 7 years ago, and she started recording them after she found them, and now she is thoroughly obsessed with them, just like I am, which is really fun. So these beavers that you see, they have been released, and they are being monitored by the government, by ecologists and stuff like that. And believe it or not, since the beavers have come back, so have a lot of other animals. So they are vital for the ecosystem, which is incredible. Now, I know what you all think, beavers build dams, you know, they block off all the water, it causes floods and stuff like that. Believe it or not, they're more useful to the environment than you might think. So they do gnaw down trees, I'm not gonna lie, and they do use them to put food, for food and stuff like that. They eat them, but they are coppicing that tree. So in the wild, naturally, you can chop down a tree and it'll coppice it and it'll help grow back after a while, and it makes the roots stronger, and that's what the beavers are doing. They're cutting it down, but then after a few months it starts to grow back again. You start seeing leaves sprouting and stuff, and it's making the roots thicker, stronger, to make the riverbeds a lot stronger, and also it reduces the risk of flooding. They also control the rate of the water flowing down the river, so anyone that lives on floodplains, if you introduce beavers higher up, they would create that dam and it would prevent the flooding because they would be able to control the amount of water flowing through it. So they're their own personal water sieve. Like, literally, they control the amount of water that goes through to keep everyone's houses safe, which is hugely important because no one wants a flooded house when it's bad weather. So the benefits that Devon have seen is that the flooding is reduced and stuff like that in the wild, as well. So it's been really good. They have been there for nearly a decade now, believe it or not. They were introduced in 2011. So it's showing huge benefit factors for them as well, which is really important. So beavers are really cool. They are not fish eaters like everyone believes. They are herbivores. They eat plants, they eat trees, and stuff like that. They will not eat anything that is alive and wiggly. They will eat all of our plants. So they're controlling the amount of algae growth and stuff like that in the environment as well, which is really important. They have no natural predators, so essentially they are a consumer because they are eating the producer, but they are also an apex predator because nothing is going to eat them. They're too big, they're too bulky. They weigh about 12 kilograms, which is quite hefty. If you've been to our centre, that is roughly the same weight as our largest snake. So, and you've all met Andre, he's pretty incredible. So yeah, that's the best way to put it in perspective. So they're pretty big animals. They're not as big as, you know, the capybara. They weigh a huge amount more, but they are the largest rodent that is currently living in the UK. So these guys are really incredible. Scotland have now officially declared them as a native animal to Scotland, so they are protected in Scotland by law, that you are not allowed to hunt them, you're not allowed to endanger them, you're not allowed to disturb them, which is really incredible. Unfortunately, England haven't quite joined on to this, and neither has Wales. We're still getting an estimate on population numbers and seeing whether the job they are doing is outweighing them cutting down all the trees essentially. But beavers are showing a positive impact to the environment around them, which is really, really good. I'm really impressed with this. Another really interesting thing about beavers, they can hold their breath for 15 minutes. That is insane. I can't believe it. So yeah, they can go underwater for at least 15 minutes, which is really incredible. And what they do is, most people think that they live underwater. They do not. Their lodges, they build a chimney and they build it above water level, so they go in through the water and then come up above water level, and that chimney is built so it helps them with temperature regulation, so they don't want the house getting too hot or too cold, so it helps regulate the temperature. These animals, insanely smart. I can't believe what I'm reading. So yeah, they are incredible. They are doing so well, and I am really, really impressed with them. The main threats that these guys have at the moment is unfortunately people persecuting them. Beavers are seen as a dangerous animal because they chop down trees, and people don't like that idea. They think they're destroying the natural habitat, but believe it or not, they are actually helping you guys out, so leave them be and they'll do their thing. Beavers are also insanely aggressive. If you come up towards one, they are going to show you their very big orange teeth, and they are going to try and scare you off. Them teeth are very, very strong. If they can cut through a tree, they can definitely cut through your flesh, so please keep your distance from them. They're very territorial. They will try and attack anything that they think is a threat, so just keep a safe distance. If you do happen to be going on holiday to the caravan or something in Devon, go have a look down a few local rivers and see whether you can see any beavers or otters. They are both around that area. Sylvie has confirmed it, so we definitely know. And yeah, they are really cool. If you do go view them though, please make sure you don't take your dog. Dogs are seen as a predator to them. They smell different, but the beavers will be able to smell them, and they are less likely to come up to you. So if you want to see them, please make sure that you are going alone, you're going quietly, and you do keep your distance. Okay, that's the most important thing. Their tail's a bit weird. Okay, it looks all scaly. It's not furry like the rest of their body. It's all firm and kind of leathery, which is really cool, and they use this in multiple ways. So they use it to help them swim, obviously, you know, paddling like swimming around rivers all day, but it's also a warning. So if you get too close to a beaver and you see it slap its tail down and make a loud splash onto the water, it's trying to scare you off with a nice loud bang. So yeah, research them before you go, keep an eye out, and let me know if you see a beaver on your next holiday. Thank you very much for listening, guys. It's been really fun teaching you about something that never used to be here but is now thriving, and I will see you tomorrow for our last day of 30 Days Wild. It's been fun, and I hope you've all learnt something. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!